Yeah, it's a good time.
Sounds good. I like it.
Hi, I'm Hank with Advanced Auto Fabrication, here today talking about track cars with one of our good customers, Chris Ward. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
So this is a car we just built for Chris. It's got lots of nifty gadgets in it, lots of cool Spec E46 stuff, but it's not a Spec E46, it's just a track day car. And we build a lot of these for customers that just want to go to the track and don't want to go racing. Chris, tell us a little bit about your experience racing and why are we here?
Yeah, sure. So I started racing about 5 years ago, wheel to wheel, exclusively with Advanced Auto Fab. And I think this last season, you know, it's a lot of time away, and I wanted a way to where I didn't have to burn a whole weekend at another track, you know, hundreds of miles away, where I could do it kind of on my own schedule, but still get that track fix. I was used to driving the Pro 3s and the Spec E46s, and so this was kind of the perfect kind of spot for me to have something like a daily drive, and then also feels pretty close to the race cars I was used to.
So this thing's brand new. We haven't tested it yet, but we've built so many of these, we kind of know the equation. We'll get to shake it out a bit here in a month or so when we actually don't have snow. That'll be neat. Some of these track days you get a lot of seat time at, especially here in Spokane. We've got some track days where you'll get 4 or 5 sessions before lunch and another 4 after lunch. So track time's good, bang for the buck in a track day car is good, and you can really hone those skills even faster than just going to the races. So I know that we worked on quite a few different aspects of your training, and one of the other things we were trying to do is just be able to get you to be as consistent as possible. And I think this is going to be a really good development tool for you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Spending lots of time in the car, being super comfortable, that's really important. And I think as far as my development, it's been, you know, getting comfortable where I have, just because of what I do for a living and my, you know, actually for a living, it takes a lot of time. And so I can't do a dozen races a year. So being able to do a dozen track days or more a year, and just all that seat time and that comfort in the car is really important.
Yeah, some of the things we put in, you guys know our shifter pretty well. I'm sure if you've been watching AAF stuff at all, we've got a really good shifter for these cars, which helps put that comfort factor on there as well. It's another one of those nice pieces for that. Makes it nice, smooth shifts, and you don't have to think about shifting. These cars stock are fantastic, but one of their biggest problems is a shifter. And avoiding those money shifts is kind of important.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the pieces that we've got in this car. We've been through the car from the front to the back. It's got MCS coilovers on it. It's set up just like a Spec E46. It's going to be a little heavier because it's still got some interior left in it and things like that. It's got a passenger seat so we can do some coaching together as well, so that's another nice feature of it. We're running just basically a Lucky Dog style tire, 200 tread wear tire on it to try to, again, keep those costs down so we're not having to spend all our money on tires. We can do several weekends on a set of tires and not burn up a set on every weekend. So that's a nice feature of it. What are the things you like best about this thing?
I like that it feels like about 75% race car. You know, it's raw enough to feel like this is legit, this is worth my time, and this is going to transfer well. But I love that it's still street legal. I love there's a cage in here, half back, you know, just half a cage. I love the race. I mean, it's the same race seats, same restraints, same shifter, same steering wheel. And it's going to have very similar feel as far as the suspension. So I'm just excited about that. And then it has a heater and an air conditioner. That's pretty great.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but we took the AC out. But
Well, it's got a heater.
it's got a heater. It's got a fan, it can cool you off at least some, but no AC, sorry buddy.
That's windows that roll down, so that's
right. Yeah, it's got windows that roll up, so when it starts raining, yeah, we can roll up some windows. That's kind of a bonus. So yeah, that's the basics on this guy. We'll take and do a walk around and show you around the car a little bit. All right, so I'm going to walk you through what we've done under the hood. It's a stock 330 engine with an oil pan baffle, and we've taken care of the oil pump drive so that it's not going to spin off. Both those things are critical if you're doing BMW on the track. Get an oil pan baffle in it first. That way you won't be buying an engine after your first few track days. As soon as you start going fast in the corners, now you're gonna have problems with oil pickup. It's just gonna be sloshed out of the hole. So we've got a fan shroud with a radiator mount and a CSF radiator. That takes all the plastic out of the equation, makes sure that the airflow is as good as it can be through the radiator, and makes it so the radiator isn't moving around. It's real common for these radiators to pop out of their plastic and jump onto those front pulleys and grind themselves to death. So it's got a breather kit on there. That's another AAF product. We're not using any of that plastic breather parts at all underneath the intake manifold. Everything's plugged off and just an external breather catch can. The power steering cap with breather hose and a little breather reservoir, that's always a plus on these things. Overall, under the hood doesn't have a lot going on that's changed, but we've taken care of those critical components that make a big difference. It's got MCS coilovers in it and AAF strut tops, so we can get the camber and caster where we want it, and those MCSs are a fantastic coilover that makes it so we can get our ride height and our dampening right to where we want it. The front bumper is an aftermarket front bumper with AAF brake duct kits on it. The under tray and all those pieces are there as well. Keep that airflow handled under the hood and under the car. Coming around inside the car, we've got a quick disconnect steering wheel. Just makes it so much easier to get in and out of these things when you put a race seat in them. We've got the OMP HTE R race seats. We put 2 of those in there with the full surround head restraint. There's an AAF shifter. We've talked about that a little bit. That's definitely a big piece of the puzzle in my book. All right, mounting the seats to the floor is our new AAF seat mount kit. It gives you lots of options so you can get that seat exactly where it needs to be, whether you're using sliders or not. You got lots of holes to choose from. Behind the seats is a weld-in 4-point roll bar that we build here in-house. We've also got a Lifeline fire suppression system in the car. It's got nozzles mounted up underneath the dash to protect the driver and passenger, as well as a bunch of nozzles under the hood to make sure that they can take care of any engine fire that might happen. Check out the Lifeline tab on the AAF website. We've got all of our product listed there, and we can do your recertifications here on the West Coast. You don't have to ship it all back east. So underneath the car, we've gone through the suspension front to back just like every other piece. We've got new control arms up front. We've got all solid bushings everywhere. We've got the AAF engine mounts, transmission mounts, cross member, all that stuff's in there. The rear subframe's been replaced with an AAF powder-coated black one with nice solid bushings. Everything's super tight and working good that way. There's no leftover squishy stuff from when this car was a street car. It's much more built than it looks. It's going to be quite the sleeper. All right, so that's this new car. It's awesome. Thanks for letting us build you a fun car, Chris, and looking forward to a good summer of racetrack fun.
You got it. Thanks a lot.